What up? I can swipe white. What does that mean? Does that mean? Oh, I can add filters on TikTok. This is my first time going live on TikTok. Everyone, what's going on? What up? What's going on, everyone, on Facebook? Ooh, I'm getting like some shit. Like, all right, where we at? Okay, we're good on Facebook and YouTube. And what's going on TikTok and everyone? First time going on. First time going live here. So kind of excited. But just I wanted to start trying to leverage going live on TikTok aside from going on live on Instagram. I mean, ideally, I'd like to be able to stream on like multiple things, but that means I need to have more phones at hand to be able to even do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop up my chat here. So we're back. If in case those of you who were following me for like the past couple of weeks, I was doing a live Q&A Sunday for a good few weeks, then took like 2-3 week gap because my girlfriend was in town, and I just wanted to hang out with her, and decided to pick things back up on this. Gonna aim to make it weekly, as often as possible. Things do come up, rehearsals, shows, shoots with clients, so sometimes I gotta adjust to that. So I might not always be able to do a Q&A Sunday, but ideally I'd like to. So it's gonna be a good 30 minutes or so with me answering some questions that I've gotten from you. So if it's your first time hopping on, whether on your YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, or on TikTok, or anywhere, so if it's your first time meeting up with me or hopping on this channel, for the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to be answering questions that I've been asked throughout the week, answering them, and then if you guys got any questions of your own, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll get to them. I'll get to as many as possible, but after I do the answering of the previous set questions, if that makes sense. Cool. And I'm also recording this on 3 different places. If you're watching it on here, you're watching on Facebook and YouTube and probably Periscope and DLive and Twitch, a whole bunch of other places. And if you ever see me look down, I'm looking over here at TikTok, going live on there, just testing, see what it's like, going live on TikTok. So I'm gonna try to make this a weekly thing. So, luckily for you, this is also a podcast. So I'm gonna do my quick podcast intro for my editor to get on it, for him to properly introduce the episode, and then we'll get to the questions. Cool. So I'm just gonna got my script right here on my computer, so I can kind of not fuck it up. So, anyways, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Move, Groove, and Grow podcast on Emerald TV, or if you're listening to this, you're probably listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever. Today I'm going to be answering questions on dance, social media, and a couple of personal development questions I've accumulated, like I said, throughout the weeks. I may have answered some of these already through the DMs, but I feel like some of the questions I've been asked are pretty good that I want to make into a video and potentially use it as content for my podcast and for something useful on Emerald TV as well. So we're live on Facebook, YouTube, everything here, and on TikTok, and I'm also filming this. So like I said, if you guys got any questions, feel free to drop it down in the chat below. So before I get started, if you like stuff like this, where I answer your questions and even share some tutorials, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit like if you find this beneficial, or even share it with people. And I do live in the front of my apartment complex, so it's a busy street. So luckily it's Sunday, so it's not too busy, but there will be occasional moments where it's like a loud fucking car just passes by, or sirens. So this is real life. So I guess, and also let's get right into the questions, actually. So the first one, we're going to be talking about dance questions. I need to put a sign here, or a lower third or something, where it says I'm answering dance questions first. Dance, not Dan. Okay, let's see if I saw some really interesting ones earlier. Oh, excuse me. Does it? Yeah. No, I could have sworn there were more? Oh no, these aren't labeled. Yeah, I got some questions. I didn't label them properly, but I'll do it. This is a question that popped up that I've experienced in the past. What up, RJ? So, if you guys are barely hopping on, whether on your YouTube or TikTok, I'm answering questions on, hey, Gisela, Yeah, you're the only one here right now, Gisela. Gisela is my younger sister, but yeah, I'm trying to go live on TikTok more often, Gisela. Okay, where's my question at? Okay, where's it plateaued? There we go. So the first question that really got my attention is, I feel like I've plateaued as a dancer. There aren't many hip hop dance classes where I'm from. How do I get better? So, I mean, I'm lucky to be living in LA where there's like a plethora of dance classes that you can take from different teachers, different styles. So I can only imagine how hard it is for people who live in small towns who don't exactly have access to go to classes or to go to access to these instructors or even studios that even teach hip hop. I know I visited a few places where a lot of the dance studios primarily just teach, jazz or the traditional Western styles of dancing. But if I feel like because because the internet we're connecting like this, I feel like the best way to continue, like I think two ways or three, to beat your plateau as a dancer if you don't have the local resources around you, like no dance studio, no instructor, no one else, no group. Like if it happens to be that way, I mean, I think just to add to that, maybe four, like if you feel like you've plateaued, one, try to find a group that maybe if you're not in a group, try to find a group that can help you. And again, I don't know what type of style you're going for. If you're a freestyler, try to find a community or people that session around breakdancing or popping or logging. If you're doing choreography, try to find a group. But now that I've addressed that part, if you don't have the local resources, the internet is a great way to go. First thing I think you should do. What's blocking my way? Oh, my camera lens here. Okay, but the first thing I would do is just straight up use YouTube. There's a lot of freaking tutorials for you to start learning. There's a lot of great instructors that teach you, tutorials that break down their moves. I have a lot of tutorials, I've gotten a lot of great feedback from. That's a great place to start learning. But I think along with the learning, you need to get feedback so you can get better with your skill. So, so the first step I think would be start if you don't have the local resources is leverage the internet. To find online groups to give you feedback on your dancing. So I would say film it, share it to a Facebook group, ask for feedback, and make sure the group is good and not toxic. Because I've been in Facebook groups where you share a video and people are just like say trash and shit like that, and that's not the type of group you want to be getting support from. So you want to avoid that at all costs. But try to yeah. So leverage learning from YouTube, share it on groups, and if you want to dial it back a little bit before you even share it to any groups. Like maybe you want to start off by filming yourself first and watching how you feel about your dancing, which is more, you can do like a compare and contrast. Like watch the video first, like watch the main video first that you're learning, the tutorial, and then watch your video and like see if you're anywhere near close to that. So I think it's one thing to learn it, and it's another thing to get feedback that you can grow from, so you can continue learning. Okay, so that's how I think you can push it in terms of learning outside of your local resources. Then if you've just been another way to approach is if you've just been doing one style for like 3 years, I would say switch it up a little bit. If you've been doing hip hop, try to do jazz. If you just be doing contemporary, do crump, something that forces you to think differently from a certain set of rules. There's a certain way, or even with choreography. If you've been working with a certain choreographer for a while, it's gonna get repetitive, or it starts feeling predictable for your body. Okay, same thing with breaking. There's a certain set of rules that you gotta follow, and what do you call it? It's nice to break that kind of habit, so to speak. So do something that challenges your thought patterns around dance. Okay, so I'm gonna mark that as click. Hope that helps. Okay, so next question. It's an easy one. So is is taking just one lesson of breakdancing beneficial? I'm trying to self-teach myself breakdancing, but I need some advice from a professional. Um, well, I'm just gonna get this clear. I don't. There's a before people like the breaking community or anyone really like just tries to hound me. It's like there's a difference between a professional breakdancer and a professional dancer. Professional breakdancers compete. I'm not a professional breakdancer. I consider myself a professional dancer where I perform, do shows. I don't professionally compete. Yeah, there's also the difference. Yeah, I'm gonna go into a little tangent, but let's get to it. So, self-teaching. Oh no, what is this? Not self-teaching. Yeah, self-teaching and need some advice. I'd say, um, one. I guess it depends on what that one lesson looked like. Is it with a private instructor, or was it a class, or was it from a YouTube tutorial? I have a tendency to overthink and overanalyze things. So the minute I saw that, like I saw there separate scenarios of what of how you approached it. So, oh man, I forgot to charge my phone. One of my phones is about to die. TikTok, sorry. Once it hits like 5% on TikTok, I'm gonna turn it off. I forgot my charger in the car, and it's like parked around the neighborhood. One lesson? No, I don't think one lesson from anything is enough for you to really get a certain skill set down. I think a lot of repetition and feedback is what's gonna help you. But one lesson, because the way I interpreted this was that you took one lesson from a class and then you think you're good, when in reality it's you take that lesson and you repeat it and get feedback until you feel, it looks solid, not just a feeling, but because you can feel good about a move or a certain skill set, but the execution might be terrible, which is why I think if feedback from an instructor helps, or even again going back to the community. So I'd say it's not taking one lesson is a good place to start. Now, if you're taking just one lesson, you're just completely missing the whole point of learning, because it's not like one and done. It's a continual process. I've been breaking since 2005, and there's still so much for me to learn. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question on that. All right, I like this question. Last question in regards to dance is if I want to learn hip hop dance, should I start learning popping, locking, or breaking first? Man, those are great styles. I think you should try all of them. Like one class, I don't know, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, popping, locking, and breaking, and then find something that you really resonate with, because not everyone's going to resonate with locking or breaking or popping. So it's really more of a personal preference. I think all the styles are great, but yeah, it's more like what's going to feel good with you. But also come to each class with an open mind, because each style has a different approach and a different kind of language and how they move. So that's one thing to be mindful of when you start taking these classes, because they do have a certain way of movement, and it's sometimes if you go with a certain expectation, like some people who want to take my breaking class expect to learn how to do like headstands and head spins and whatnot right off the bat, and I'm like, no. It's not just the move, it's like the whole essence of the dance I'm trying to teach you, the basics and the fundamentals and some of the history, just to keep them informed of hip-hop's history. So yeah, I'll answer that. So again, huge shouts out to brother Rob, huge shouts out to Gisela and RJ, and who's on right now? I can't tell who's on my Facebook, but appreciate you guys. Type down below where you're coming from, or your names, or your social security numbers, or your personal information. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Okay, so the next round of questions I'm gonna be doing is around social media marketing. But before I get into it, I just want to do a quick promo to my second channel. So if you guys want to see like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff I do, whether it's rehearsals, behind the scenes of shows, client meetings, a lot of my dance stuff with friends, make sure you head on over to my second channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this on YouTube, the links should be in the description. And for TikTok, because I was about to do an Instagram shout out, just click on the YouTube button in my bio. Okay, so again, next round of questions around social media marketing. So if you guys have, I'm trying to read the script and I'm fucking it up. Yeah, so the next round is around social media marketing. So some people, not everyone actually knows that I run a marketing agency. So this is about my marketing agency is called Vision Paradox. We're going into what are my thoughts on the coronavirus? That's kind of a controversial issue, but I guess I'll answer that later. So aside from the questions I get a lot from dance. Now going back to my script here. I also get a lot of questions about social media marketing from people who are trying to build their personal brands in the entertainment industry, specifically towards the dance realm, and a few music artists here and there. So I figured I'd answer some of those questions. And thoughts on coronavirus? I mean, I think I personally am pretty worried about it because I do have a kid. At the same time, the flu takes, I think, just a lot of lives each year. So I think, and I don't know enough about the issue to really say anything about it, but it's definitely something that I'm keeping an eye on from the perspective of a parent, to try to be safe in regards to what may or may not come. So, like, the fact that people are saying it's a pandemic, first thing I think of is like Walking Dead, or like the entire electrical grid failing. It just went into like crazy worst case scenario kind of thought. Alright, so let's go into these social media questions. Okay, so let's do it. Okay. Alright. So the first question I get is, and this is from someone who's, I'm not gonna say their name, but they're like, I think they're mid 40s or 50s. So, but the question that they gave me was, is can YouTube be helpful in promoting a business? In what way? I think the way YouTube can be done is similar to this. What a lot of people are doing, which is long form content. They can do a question, if you're a product, or even if you're an instructor or an expert in your field, you can do what I'm doing right now and create long form content and answer questions that you get. And what that does is people eventually start building trust around your brand, because you're providing actual value and actual, what is it? We have something with Vision Paradox. We have something called the 3 E's. The content you got to share has always got to be educational, empowering, or entertaining. And if you can do all three, that's the bonus. But yeah, I think if you hit all those three on your YouTube channel, I think it'd be great in building your I say brand on YouTube. And not everyone's trying to become a YouTuber, but it is a great place to leverage your search, especially if one of the most common things, one of my most popular videos is actually how to dance without a mirror, and that wasn't because I did an SEO question, and I tried to do all these SEO tips. This was an actual question I got. I answered it, and it just happened to rank really well. Given that, I'm not gonna say that after I uploaded, I did do the proper SEO, I'd say tactics or approach after the fact, but it originated from an actual organic question that I got online. So that's one way, because leveraging search, because also YouTube being the number 2 search engine next to Google, when people look this stuff up, that's how you'll be discovered in regards to your business. And then that's what we're doing with another client of ours. It's in regards to, they do dental supplies, and it's a pretty tough field. Not everyone, from what I've noticed, a lot of them are doing a little bit more on the entertainment end, in like doing skits and bits, and I think that's really dope. But the production amount of time in production or even pre-production just takes too long. Like, it could take like just to like an arbitrary number. Like it could take 3 to 4 days to produce 1 or 2 videos, like in the formal setting of like a skit. But that's just me like over producing it instead of keeping it simple, like a Vine skit. But yeah, so but the way I want to kind of approach it is not just that, but I would say that as going back to talking about this client, I want to approach it in a way where we're providing useful information for people that builds trust around them, because we don't want to be just like, oh, they're the entertaining kind of thing, but they got useful information out of it that made like these businesses perform better. So, and I think when you improve someone else's life with your knowledge, I think that's where the impact and the people wanting to go the extra mile for you and your brand, I think that's where it starts to happen. So that's what I think. Helps build your searchability. Helps build your searchability in terms of people looking for questions relevant to your space, and it helps build brand equity in regards to the information you put out there. And it has to be good. So, cool. Next question. Let's see. Okay, this is an interesting question. I'm gonna expand it so I can see the full question and not be like weird and try to read it. Alright, should I stop making YouTube videos? I have only uploaded 5 videos in total, and I have... That's my neighbors. I'm gonna say that question again. So, should I stop making YouTube videos? I've only uploaded 5 videos in total and have 236 subscribers. It's probably because I hadn't uploaded for 3 weeks, but still, I feel like I haven't gotten enough feedback. I think you're way early in the game to really say anything about quitting or leaving and all that stuff, because it's like literally the first minute of the first quarter if you play basketball. So, I'd say give yourself even 3 years to see anything grow, but that's with the thought of making your videos better each time, not just post to post, but try to make an incremental way of improving. And I think you said that you haven't uploaded for 3 weeks. I think that's fine. Like, you just have to develop a schedule that works best for yourself and your life, because you cannot, like, I know not everyone's going to be able to edit and upload every single day like PewDiePie, or not everyone's going to have the bandwidth to even do 2 or 3 times a week. Sometimes once a month is good, and you just got to make sure that one video you upload when the time comes, it just has to be really useful. Again, going back into entertaining, empowering, or educational. So it's still early. I think if you really want to grow your channel, the fastest way usually is hopping on trends, because obviously because it's a trend for a reason. People are looking for it. There's intent to try to look for it. So for me as a dancer or choreographer, I can just do like something that, I don't know, a new one of the latest Justin Bieber songs. Do something like that. Or Lady Gaga just released one of her songs, and then do a freestyle video around that, or do some choreography. Try to rank it, and yeah, the key thing with topics is that you got to try to be fast and first, which is why actually I'm about to go into a tangent, but you want to be like the earliest you can with topics. And then the second way to approach it is obviously search engine optimization, like answering questions relevant to a topic. And the next thing is, if you're more of a niche, like really narrow, like say you're specifically talking about I'm a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan, so if you're specifically talking about that, you can just really niche down and just try to communicate to the community around that, but don't expect like massive growth immediately. So yeah, hope that helps. You're still early. You're at 236 subscribers. It's hard for a lot of people to even get to 100 now. So it's just keep posting, keep sharing, and yeah, if you have the ability, like go from once a month to once a week, and then build up. Okay, that second question's done. That's a good question. This question is, how did you start a social media marketing agency with no experience? I had to get experience. I didn't. The idea of running a business was always like something that kind of fascinated me, but nothing. But I was not willing to go through an insane amount of class hours just to get a degree and a paper. Because if it's one thing that I learned from going from college to an actual job is that the things you learn in school don't always apply to the thing that you're trying to do. So, first is, before I even started doing anything that's agency related, was that I had to make sure that I actually knew my shit. So it helped that I came from like knowing animation and knowing how to do video editing, but then I had to learn doing a lot of the social media marketing stuff for myself. Made it easy because I started understanding principles and reading data, and it was fun when I was doing it for myself. And then from there, I started doing small projects that were willing to put some money on what I was doing. So like I would do like $100 a month, or like manage some Facebook accounts or Instagram accounts for free, just so I can get the experience of working on a brand that's not my own. So I started like building the necessary, like I'd say, like experience, or the necessary like kind of skills that I needed to be able to, I felt like were necessary, so that way when you hire people in your agency, so to speak, you're not selling yourself short, or you have an understanding of the skills, especially when you start pitching your company to other people. Because if you have no experience and you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, it's just gonna make it bad. You're just gonna provide a disservice, or you're just gonna be bad for everyone else that tries to work with them after. And yeah, sure, try if you don't have the experience and you're just trying to like, you can bring someone else on, but I think having the knowledge is, speaks volumes compared to just trying to pitch your idea or your idea or business to someone. Because with the experience and the understanding of it, at least you could potentially have proof of concept, which is why I started working with clients for low cost efforts, and I didn't really understand the pricing yet. But yeah, then from there I just got business partners, started hiring people, started taking on more projects, because eventually you get to a point where you meet your max and you can't just keep doing projects, you have to delegate. And then I think that's a good point where to start slowly hiring. And yeah, I came from just having to get experience first, know that I can actually do the work, and then once I maxed out on everything I did, in terms of like what I can do, that's where I started hiring. So hope that helps. But just don't, it's like, no, I'm not gonna say like make sure you have the experience. Like that's the equivalent of saying like, oh, how to become a professional basketball player with no experience. Understand the game first, understand the rules, get the skills, practice. So alright, TikTok, I'm gonna end it here. Oh, okay, perfect timing on that. My camera just stopped filming. So TikTok, I'm gonna end it here. I have 3% on this. Hope you guys enjoyed. Gisela, love you. I'll see you soon. RJ, appreciate you hopping on. I'll see you guys soon. Peace, and I'm out. Boom. That's good.
On a budget, you'll be
Hold right. Let's keep going. Okay. Alright, so that's it. I'm gonna get some water real quick. Old man sippy cup. Shouts out to Wavy Quicks on YouTube for asking that question about the coronavirus. So let's go. And then the next question I'm going to be doing, round of questions I'm going to be doing is around personal development. So these are like the three things I really like talking about. So which is one of the reasons why I'm like I'm putting it into this kind of format, like 3 questions segment format. Okay, so if you before we get into the next questions, actually, if you guys did like the social media tips or the questions that I answered, make sure you follow my company's YouTube, where we essentially do all the questions that we get into a Q&A format, long form and short form if you're looking for certain ones, even tips on doing advertising and all the basic stuff of like excuse me, best times for your profile and all that stuff. So if you guys like that content, make sure you head on over to Vision Paradox's YouTube channel or on Facebook or Instagram, links in the description. And yeah, let's get on to these last round of questions on personal development. I think personal development's huge, because if without it, it's like your mindset is really the operating system of you being able to get what you want, in a sense. So if you're like, the way I would say like mindset is, and I think this might be a weird metaphor, but it you can't no, fuck it, I'm not gonna say the metaphor. Fuck it. But I'd say like you can't get to that next level thinking with your old ways. Like you can't, just a really random ass example, like the way you thought as a high schooler is not going to get you to the point of making it or even surviving as a 30-year-old. So it's just continual growth. And I think what makes it harder as adults is that there's no more teacher, in a sense, to tell us what's right or wrong. A lot of it is just really harsh feedback from life, and a lot of it is learning on our own. It's like when we get the metaphorical punches in the face, it's very easy to be like, oh shit, that's like it is what it is, instead of like, it is what it is, and what can I get how can I learn from it? That way I don't repeat the same damn mistakes and keep ending up in the same shitty situation. Because if you don't learn if you don't learn the lesson you need to learn, then you can't grow and quote unquote level up your life. I hate that, so cheesy, but yeah, it's true though. I got a hard punch in the mouth like back in 2013, 2014 when I went to jail, and then I realized what I was doing before and how badly it was affecting everyone else, and shit just hit the fan. So all right, let's get on to these questions. So I saw this question. This question's been on my radar for a while, and I think I'm kind of ready to answer this question. So the question is, how did one small decision change your life? The one small decision was when I, decided, to take on full responsibility in being a dad. The first time I heard it, I freaked out. I was like, I wasn't ready to be a dad, to be honest. But for me, it was. But also at the same time, in high school, like I would do things to kind of prep me to become a dad. Like I went on a missionary trip to Jamaica to just so I could in the future learn how to interact with children. That's kind of the reason why about that. So before just a quick break here. Like if it's your first time hopping onto this, whether in your Facebook, YouTube, I'm answering questions in regards to dance, social media marketing, and personal development. Right now I'm doing the last 3 set of questions around personal development, and the question I was asked is, how did one small decision change your life? So the minute I decided to take full responsibility in being a dad, I think that changed my life, because up until, it's one thing to like do stupid shit and when like no one's really watching, aside from like it's not, your decisions aren't truly, I'm not gonna say your decisions don't affect anyone, but but like when you don't have the pressure of someone that looks up to you, you make different decisions, and that's what I think. You could think differently, but when you have someone that looks up to you, that it kind of is gonna view you as a hero, that it kind of changes things, because then you in turn want to have to, or at least for me, I knew I had to step up my game and change the way I thought and the way I approached a lot of things. So yeah, deciding to be a dad changed my life, because then I had to be more accountable in the actions I take. All right, so this is a fun question. How has your personality changed since you were 15? How old are you now? I'm 32 now, and that was about 17 years ago. My personality has, I think, but when I was 15, I was a lot shyer, a bit more closed off. This was probably before I joined the dance team, because the dance team really helped out a lot. But my personality changed. I think, for one, my hair is not crazy spiky anymore. Oh no, this is 10th grade. I don't have a mushroom cut, and I'm not as angry. I feel like anymore. I mean, I feel anger, but I don't like suppress it, and I don't try to keep it down. I do something to, like, a lot of it now is dancing and through working out, and I feel like, I think this is something I'm experiencing the past year, is like, the anger is a form of energy, and you have to you have to be able to redirect that energy, and then anger is just one of the many outlets of that energy. You can use that same energy from anger to your exercise. It still has some form of aggression, but it's also beneficial. You're not hurting anyone. I think, was it sublimation? Is that what my dance therapy friend said? So I think some people like doing the record rooms, or what is it? The record rooms? I think let me know in the comments if I'm saying it right. But some people find this beneficial, but I just saw like this study. It's a small hole in the wall study of how aggression and hitting things only begets more aggression. So that's why I'm not the biggest fan of record rooms, but anyways, going back into that, so I feel like going back to the question, I feel like my anger since I was 15 has, I'm not gonna say gone away, because it doesn't go away, or not go away, but it's like I've learned the necessary tools to I guess to have better control myself in that. Cool. Oh, that helps. That helps. But that was a fun question. So last question on the for personal development, and then we're wrapping this up. How long have I been going? About 30 minutes. Cool. And enough time for me to still get working. That's a fun question. So, alright, so this is a fun question. So at the age of 27, what are 5 things I should focus on now that will better my life by the time I hit 30? Oops. Okay. I think the first thing that you've got to prioritize is your health. Eat, work out, sleep properly. Because if the classic health is wealth, if you're not healthy, I hate being sick. To be honest, I hate being sick, because I'm like working at, in a haze in a sense, or I have to take a break and all that stuff, and I just hate when I get sick. But yeah, take care of your health, eat healthy, exercise, take care of it, because if you're not healthy, you're not gonna be effective to anybody, really. I'm counting down. Number 2, excuse me. I'd say the next thing is your time. Prioritize your time in a much more efficient or effective manner. Not in a sense where you just like work, but also like, and this is something I've been practicing more this year, is like schedule your be protective of your time and be intentional with it. So that's why for me, I schedule specific times and days of when I'm okay with meetings, and times and days that are only set for family. So schedule the amount of you just be intentional with your time and how you I guess time block for work, but also time block for friends and family. Because at least for me, it helps relieve a lot of stress. Or when I time block it on the calendar, it helps me. It gives my brain permission to do whatever is scheduled in a sense. So it sounds weird. I mean, one might say that I feel like I'm a slave to time, or over analyzing, maybe. Yeah. So that's number 2. Be protective with your time. Man, 5 things. Oh, 3. Number 3 is handle your finances. So whatever you're earning, put 10% away or 5% away, based off what my friend from Strategic Choices said. So if you can't do 10%, boom, or pay off your debts. And if you can't, my camera's about to die too. Man, I should have charged everything. I'll let it keep going. Okay. So, and what is it? What else is there? Handle your finances, pay off your debts, and even if it's not like your loans, but pay people back, and save, and then after that invest. Cool. I'm not in the investing part, but it's important. Financial health is pretty important as well. Okay. So that's 3 things: health, time, finances, and I say the 4th thing is do things that for yourself. Take care of yourself. Personal care is super important. So for me, it's like, yes, hanging out with friends can be personal care, but for me, personal care is defined as lounging and doing whatever I want at no one else's deadline. That's what it looks like for me. Or even going on hikes, doing things for myself. That or even hobbies, do things like that. And the last one is spend time with your family. It goes into the time thing, I think, but I think, or spend time with people who you love, because eventually, and I echo this a lot in many videos and on Instagram, is that not, the people you care about aren't going to be here, aren't getting new models every 18 months. They're not going to be here forever, and we experienced it in it's already March, in January when Kobe passed. Oh no, was it January or February? Shit, it's been crazy. Yeah, in January, towards the end of January when Kobe passed, a big figure like that went away too. Same thing with the people that you care about. So spend time with them. So that's it. The 5 things I think you should focus on. I think that'll help improve the quality of your life, because it focuses both on success and fulfillment, and that looks different for everyone. Cool. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me see. Just some quick shout outs to Wavy again, Gisela, and RJ. Yeah, RJ. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you guys liked these videos, make sure you hit like, subscribe, share this with friends who you think might benefit from it. I'm gonna wrap it up since my camera's about to die. I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing Sunday, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.